the brindled cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harper cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone, days and nights has sturdy won. Sweltered venom, sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of meat and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adders fork and blindworm sing, lizards make and howlets swing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witches, mummy, gnaw and bowl. Of the raven, salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in dark. Liver of a western dew, gall of goat and slits of yew. Silvered in the Houston clips, wolves of Turk and Tartar's lips. Finger of a blistering fade, stitched delivered by a jab. Make the ghoul thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's cauldron for the ingredients of all.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blush, the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags, what is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. However you come to know it, answer me. Even till destruction sickens, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Come, let me see them.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 Pharaoh. Grease that sweeten from the murderer's gibbet throw into the flame.
Come high or low, thyself in Apis deftly show.
Tell me thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought, hear his speech, but say thou not. Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife, dismiss me, enough.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another more potent than the first. Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet, I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it. Be lying metal and proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, and where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish, be until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
But that will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Yet my heart throbs to know one more thing. Tell me, if thou art, can tell such, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom again?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. But deny me this, and an eternal curse fall upon you. Let me know. What noise is this?
Show. Know his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art like the spirit of Banquo, down, thy crown does sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-brown brow, is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth? Start, eyes, what? Will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another, yet a seventh? I'll see no more, and yet an eighth appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more.
Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. That this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay. The scene in Macbeth that we chose was Act 4, Scene 1, and in this scene Macbeth is meeting with the three witches, and the three witches give him more of a prophecy about his future after he demands that they answer his questions. One choice that we made with the witches was to have them be dressed in all black. That way there could be more of a supernatural element to the play, and that way the witches could be seen as more of a unit, because that's how they always function. They're never seen apart. They always come as one and then leave as one. And the way that the witches dressing in all black just added to their unity and added to how they were seen. Additionally, in this scene, Shakespeare emphasizes Macbeth's desire to know the future. And in one line, Macbeth says, answer me to what I ask, and he says, even till destruction sicken, which just means that he doesn't care what happens as long as he gets to know the future and as long as the witches answer his questions. This is really important to the play as a whole, because it adds to the theme of prophecy, and it adds to the theme of fate and how your fate cannot really be changed. And the witches answer Macbeth, but they do so in a way that leaves his fate to be interpreted in many different ways, and that is just a part of the play that was really important.
This scene is important to the overall play because it shows Macbeth's obsession with knowing the future. He desperately wants the witches to tell him more after they begin to speak on his endeavors. After the witches show the third apparition, or Banquo's descendants, as king, Macbeth becomes very angry and vows that he will take action on what he sees. We chose the witches to perform both human and supernatural actions. For example, at the table, at the beginning of the scene, the witches are speaking normally and appear as regular beings. As the scene continues, the apparitions appear. We chose the witches to perform both human and supernatural actions. For example, at the table, the witches are speaking normally and appear as regular beings. As the scene continues and the apparitions appear, the witches' actions and their appearance shifts. Their voices change as well as the effect on the video itself. We chose to make this change to separate the witches from the apparitions, as well as adding a supernatural element to our modern interpretation of the scene.
As a whole, our portion of the play serves to identify another point in which Macbeth is overwhelmed by his own insanity and hunger for power. My group decided on an alternative approach to Shakespeare's Act 4, Scene 1, in which the three witches divulged the rest of Macbeth's prophecy. We opted for a hand game similar to Miss Mary Mac in place of a cauldron to symbolize the modernity without compromising the original integrity of Shakespeare's work, and to emphasize the tone and the rhythm that the three witches possessed during their scenes. We wanted some form of action that complemented Shakespeare's original language, and specifically the rhyming sections.
So for my scene in Macbeth, I think there were two choices that were pretty intentional. The first is in terms of Macbeth's costuming, the idea of dressing Macbeth not necessarily as like a popular kid or as a king, but rather as this kind of like a normal, maybe kind of nerdy kid in like a sweater with a dress shirt and glasses. And part of the reasoning for that was actually a line earlier in the play, not in our scene, Macbeth's lines, "Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?" And at least for me, I don't feel as if Macbeth ever truly feels comfortable comfortable with his position as king for the entirety of the play. And that's part of the reason why he's so caught up with trying to understand the future, or trying to or trying to understand the fate or what's going to happen to him in his position as king. And then the other choice is kind of the way in which I deliver the lines as Macbeth. I think that one of the most important aspects of this scene is that it demonstrates kind of how Macbeth, how desperate Macbeth is, right? So the fact that he's willing to go to the witches and like almost demand them to tell them, or almost demand them to tell him more about his future, more about his fate, what's going to happen. And I feel like as the scene goes on, I try to get more angry or kind of more loud and more nervous in my lines, to the end where I kind of had the breakdown and end up like freaking out at the sight of all of Banquo's ghosts and end up crying on the table. And so that kind of build up from the beginning where I'm just like, hey, what's happening, towards the end where I'm like, but one word more, like tell me all these secrets that I really want to know. And I feel like in doing that, I tried to emphasize the fact that Macbeth is really desperate and that he is really trying to take his own fate, or kind of take his own power in his own hands, in a way that is important to the broader themes of the rest of the play.